Hey, I'm Adrian, y'all.
Hey, I'm Carla.
And we are
The Marriage
Talk, y'all. What's going on? We got a topic today.
We do.
That we actually posted a trivia question in one of our last recordings. And that trivia question was that once you get married, who is the most important person to you? And there's a reason that we raised that question, y'all. What do you have to say about that, Sunshine?
So we've had people that have told us that their mother comes first, even though these are married people, or that their children come first.
Oh my God.
And it's like, we just couldn't believe it. Because it's like, where in the world are you getting your information from?
Right.
So we figured we needed to have a video, create a video
absolutely.
about and tell people the truth.
Yes.
Who the most important person in your life is if you're married.
Not just according to what the Bible says. The Bible does say, therefore shall a man leave his mother and father and shall cleave unto his wife. They twain shall be one flesh. But let's not even use that Bible verse, because your partner would beg to differ with you if you decided to make your mother, your father, or one of your children more important than them.
And I know for women, especially when we have children, we have to nurture them, we have to care for them, especially when they're infants and younger. And so we need to make sure that we don't get off the track here, because even though we have to care for them and nurture them, understand they're going to grow up.
Yes.
And they'll be your children always, but they won't be babies and kids always.
Right.
And so they'll be adults. And so you want to make sure that you understand that as a woman, your husband comes first. And as a man, your wife comes first. Your children will leave you. They're going to get up. Yes. They're going to marry. They're going to go off to faraway places and live their own lives. You need to make sure that you're investing in your marriage.
Yeah. So listen now. Men, we are taught, even as little bitty kids and as boys on the playground, that nobody talks about my mama. So we were brought up, we just grew up like that. So if you were on the playground, if you want to start a fight, then say something about my mama and it's going to be a fight. So you still have some men growing up with the same perspective and mentality after they've gotten married, that their mother is still the most important person in their life. And men, that is so far from the truth. Listen, y'all, I've had 60-year-old married men in front of their wives saying, hey, my mama the most important person to me, or my grandmama the most important person in my life, so I got to go do this for my mama or do this for my grandmother, and not give their wife that security. But he's saying that he's telling his wife, these people, that my mother comes before you. So now, Sunshine, you being a wife, how is that going to work out in your marriage?
That won't work out. Too sweet.
There's some mama's boys.
There's some mama's boys.
Women may be getting married and marrying some men who may be still more tied to their mother than they are their wives.
And that is a problem. That is a problem. Again, we've talked about this, Adrian, how we are each other's first minister.
Yes.
I'm to minister to you, and you are to minister to me. And we're our first, and I'm to serve you, and you're to serve me.
I'm your first responsibility.
We are accountable and responsible to each other.
You are my first responsibility.
First. And then kids and whatever order you want to put the rest, that's up to you.
Right.
The kids and mother and extended family and all that next. Now, that doesn't mean that you neglect your parents in their old age and you don't do for that. That's not what that means.
Let me give them a couple of more Bible verses, because the Bible also says that God said, what I join together, let no man put asunder. That doesn't necessarily mean another man coming in between your marriage. That means another person of mankind, which can mean a woman, a child, any other human being that interferes or is there to divide you from what God has joined together. Mm-hmm. You cannot let anybody divide what God has joined together. And so now you've got a man that's joined to his wife, and they twain shall be what?
One flesh.
They twain shall be one flesh. I know that our math says 1 + 1 = 2.
2, yeah.
But God's math says 1 + 1 = what?
1.
God's math is different from ours, y'all. So once we get married to a person, we now become one with them. That means that, listen up, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, but men, most of all, your mama has to be second place, third place, fourth place, somewhere down the line. She can no longer be number one in your life. Your children cannot be number one in your life. Your friends, your buddies, your partners cannot be number one in your life. If you decide to get married, man, your wife is number one. And we have to keep her there. And women, I'm going to let my wife tell you that.
Same thing, women. Your mother, your father, not number one anymore. Your husband is number one. And if you don't want to do that, then don't get married. Because and I keep saying that on videos, like, if you don't want to do a certain thing, don't get married.
Don't get
because
married.
I think we don't have the information, and I'm hoping we're given the right information.
Yes.
Your children, if you have children and then you get married, okay, when you get married, I'm sorry, your husband is still number one. I am not saying do not cook and clean and take care of your children. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the place in your life, your husband is number one.
And listen, there's no other covenant, no other declaration. There is nothing even in heaven or on earth where it's determined that a man and a woman can be one. You can't be one with anything or anybody else. No. You can only be one with the spouse.
With the spouse.
You cannot be one with a mother. You can't be one with a child. You can only be one with your spouse.
Now, here's the beauty of marriage. And here's the beauty of these places that these people are in. Because we are number one and we care for each other and we love each other, then we care for each other's families as well. Now, his mother is my mother and my mother is his mother. And he is just as protective of my mother as he was his own mother, and vice versa. And so together now we take care. We did. His mother's gone on, but we were able to take care and help with his mother. And together we're able to help and take care of my parents. And it's a beautiful thing.
Let me raise a question though. What if somebody's mother or father is not receptive of somebody's spouse? Oh my God. We got a problem, y'all.
We got a problem.
We got an in-law problem.
We got a problem.
Anybody out there got in-law problems? I know that's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
I brought
Do
that.
we want to talk about it?
I brought that up so we could talk about it. Not today and not this time, but we will be talking about that at another time real soon. But this is why we did, because so many people are not making their spouses number one. So many people are putting other things before their spouse. So if my wife is putting her father before me, or she's going to do things for her dad or her mother, and I want her to do some things, but she's not doing them, but every time I turn around, she's going to do things for her parents, that's going to make me feel second. And I'm going to be thinking, hey, every time I need you to do something, you can't never do it. But your dad called or your mom called and you run and go and do it. So now I'm going to be feeling second. And this is going to be a problem in a marriage, y'all. This is a problem.
Now, the good thing about the marriage ministry, our marriage ministry, is that we're talking to reasonable people, because some people are unreasonable. Some people are on another level. We're not talking about you guys spent the whole evening together and you got to go and take your mother a plate of food or something like that, and that person looks at you and says, hey, don't do it. Something's wrong there. We're talking about you are constantly over your parents' house all night long, 2, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, I was with my mom. Hey, I needed you to do something for me. Well, I couldn't do it because I got to do this for my mom. Hey, can you do another thing for me? Can you take my car? Well, I can't do that because I got to do this for. Then wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. We got a problem here.
Oh no, I'm gonna give you a good one. A good analogy is a husband and a wife having a disagreement, and one of the in-laws, either the mother or the father, gets in the middle of the disagreement and sides with their child. That can be a problem.
That can be a serious problem.
So all I'm saying is this: our priorities have to be in order. The number one person is your spouse.
The number one.
Husband, your wife is number one. So your mama, she gonna have to take the back seat to some stuff. Grandmama, she gotta take the back seat. Kids, they gonna have to take the back seat. It's a husband, a wife, and then the children. these other aunties, uncles, all these other people, they cannot be involved in your marriage. I also want to leave y'all with another note for the people who still want to put their parents and other people number one. Notice this, that in the beginning of God's creation, God created Adam, then he put Adam to sleep, took Adam's rib and created Eve. But where was Adam and Eve's mother and father? They didn't have one. So there were no parents for Adam and Eve in the beginning because God needed them to start out being one together, just those two.
That's right.
God could have easily created Adam and Eve parents.
But he didn't.
He chose not to. So I hope y'all got there. We're going to be coming back unless you got something else you want to add to that.
No, that's good. I'm excited about the next conversation about the in-laws.
Oh, my God. Okay, all right. Y'all, well, listen. Hopefully somebody's been helped here by this information, y'all. We appreciate it. Until next time, y'all be blessed.